Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. It's once again me, and I'm trying to show you guys another Royale Ghost army which is wrecking right now. Queen Charge and Royale Ghost, when I first thought about that and I first saw it from a lot of players, I thought about it wrong, and second of all, everyone was doing it wrong. What's the goal? How to do this attack? How to get those juicy triples in? And I will show everything today in this video. Okay, this is an interesting looking base. I would say we just try it and see how we can do. I think we can queen walk the town actually, so let's try that. We have to rage probably really early. So there, and one Kokoloon, and then rage immediately. One, and the king over here. Okay, so far everything is looking good. We will first just pretty much ignore the ram. We will use that a little bit later. Another rage, freeze the enemy queen. So far everything is looking really good. Then we can use another raged Kokoloon, maybe triggering a couple of more traps, poison on there, the king, one more over here, and then we should be able to reach the eagle. And I would want to open up for my queen that she can like continue walking. That's why I'm using the ram over here. But as soon as I can reach the eagle, I'm actually fine. I can do whatever I want. So let's wait for that. Everything is tanking in here. It's looking really good. My ram should open up the next compartment as well, so my queen can reach the expo. And now I can just open up this. So far it's looking really good. We took down the eagle, which is nice as well. And then we just keep going. I will add our warden once again. And so far it's looking really good. We can add a couple of troops over here. Then we can jump. And I will keep going with my really nice Royale Ghosts. Okay, so where do I go next? I will have to freeze this. And then one Royale Ghost here, here. Everything is looking good so far. One more Royale Ghost over here. And then we just sprinkle them in. That's basically it. You just have to sprinkle them in. I will use my warden ability for my warden to save him. And now more Royale Ghosts. Let's go. Looking really good so far. One more Royale Ghost over here. I can use the wizard over here. We have a couple of more minions. I don't know where to place those, but it's basically just for cleanup if there's like, I don't know, whatever basically. And just use the last couple remaining troops, and that's it. Well, now I didn't really talk about like too much about how you guys execute this, like what are the most important things to watch out for. And this is why we'll take a look at the replay and figure out on how you guys can execute and do this attack. So the most important thing is to take out the enemy eagle. That's basically the first priority you have, because as soon as that's taken out, you can add the warden to your queen and you can start with your Royale Ghosts. Another thing which is, I saw this attack already quite a lot, and a lot of people are doing it wrong. So the first thing is, like I said, to get the eagle. But, and that's a big but, we have all of those Inferno towers set around the eagle, which means it's kind of difficult to actually charge it. But we have this really nice ally over here as well, which means we can charge in over there really easily. As soon as we did that, we have we can decide pretty much where to go because we have a jump spell. But what I decided for is to use a ram to open up everything over here, which means this leads my queen in here, can take out the single Inferno tower, then jump, and this means she can take out even more. It's all about the queen charge. You can think about that as the queen is your president and you have to protect her no matter what. And that's what you do with the Royale Ghosts. You try to take damage away from your queen, and that's basically the goal. So once again, the queen cannot reach this cannon, and that's why you take immediately care of it to make sure that your queen is not taking too much damage to stay alive. Except that you can invest all of your spells to the queen, because the Royale Ghosts do not need any spells, because as soon as they lose their invisibility, they're getting pretty much like a trash tier troop. So they're like super bad after that. Like I said, as soon as the eagle is going down, we can start off with our Royal Ghost. Why do we not start earlier? That's kind of simple because, well, if we would have started earlier, the eagle would have been activated and pretty much the attack is over. Now we can just sprinkle them in. We have so many of them. Just get rid of the trash first, and then you can immediately start to deploy them onto the first layer defenses, which means defenses like this. They're kind of around the outside, and you can target them as soon as the outside buildings are gone. What I do next is keep going. Keep going with those Royal Ghosts. Meanwhile, try to invest even more spells into the queen and make sure that she is staying alive. That's basically your main thing to watch out for. And whenever you have time, use a Royal Ghost to take damage away from the enemy queen, or like from your own queen, sorry. And then just keep going with all of those Royal Ghosts and you would be totally fine. This attack is really strong, but not too easy to execute. But if you got the idea on how to do it, it's a killer. It's super strong. I recommend it for everyone basically. Try it out. It's working on any tower level, which has a queen, obviously, like tower 9, 10, 11, and tower 12. For all of those, it's possible to use. And I hope you guys have huge success. But I would say to give you even better possibilities to get this success, we take a look at a couple of more attacks. This one is going to be once again a maxed base. It looks really annoying, but once again it's the same approach as the last attack. The first thing we're looking out for is the enemy eagle. We can pause it, or like we can just keep rolling, but the eagle really centralized, so where should we go in? We can go like classic entries with the 4-degree entries, but at the same time the town hall is at the bottom, which means we have only two options, and that's the upper right or the upper left. I'm deciding to go in from the upper left, but why? Why do I go in from over there? The reason is kind of simple, because of this Inferno Tower and this sweeper. The setup of those two buildings are really important. With having the sweeper pointing over here, this means if I would come in from the right side, I would have the sweeper earlier on me, and this is super annoying when I'm doing a queen charge. Because I do not want my queen to die, this is one of the things I have to consider, my queen going through the entire base. With having the multi-inferno tower on the other side, it means if I go in from the left side, I take out the multi-inferno tower earlier, which is always a good thing. Which means it's two things why I should come in from the left side, and that's why I'm doing it. So as soon as I create my funnel with the Royal Ghost and my king on the other side, I can start off with my ram trying to get into the eagle. And as you know, with this army composition, even if my ram is not getting far enough, I have the jump spell to actually connect to the eagle as well. So as soon as my king took out the buildings on the left side, I can target this mortar with my Royal Ghost, and this means my queen will go the right way 100%. As well, it keeps my ice golem inside of the base, and they're really nice tanks to make sure that I do not have to invest too many spells early onto my queen. Then I'm using the jump to actually get deeper into the base, and the enemy has obviously one of the most annoying CCs in the game, which is the Hound. I can take out that kinda quick with the Rage and the Poison, and then just one minion to support everything. Yeah, there we go with the minion. A little bit late, but still okay. And yeah, that's basically how you take care of the enemy CC. And then the next thing, once again, take this idea of protecting the president. You want to take damage away which is shooting at your queen, which means those buildings on the outside, those are the best targets for your Royal Ghost, because they will take out, or they will take damage away from your queen. And then again, as soon as the eagle is down, you can support your queen with the ward, not only in damage, but as well with his ability. Like as soon as you know, okay, my queen won't make it over here, you can just use the warden ability and you will be fine. Like I said, I would just start and keep going with those outside Royal Ghosts to make sure there's not as much damage anymore on my queen. Meanwhile, I have to make sure that my queen is actually staying alive. That's the most important thing on those attacks. And now you can see, I would just keep going with my rages. I do not have any spells anymore now, but I still have my queen ability to go. And I can just take out the enemy town hall with my ghosts, because, well, ghosts are just doing whatever they want, and they can kill those buildings really easily. Then, after using the ability, only one ghost is still left, but it doesn't matter because we already tripled the base which means we once again got this triple. It's really nice to use this attack. It's really a lot of fun, but it's not that easy. So make sure to train it, to like test it before you're using it in Legend League or like War, whatever. But I can say this is one of the most fun ways on how to use the Royale Ghosts, because it's like a combination of a lot of of a really long queen charge, which at least for me, queen charges are already a lot of fun because they're kind of complicated and you have to put a lot of concentration in there. And then the Royale Ghosts, they do not need any spells. They can just like being deployed around the base and you will do fine. So let's take a look at one of those anti-2-star bases with this really annoying teaser setup and how to triple those. Teaser, and what exactly does this mean? It means that you have a really one-sided base, which means everyone, or like not everyone, but it screams that you can get the tunnel from this side because it looks kind of far on the outside, but at the same time we have most of the time all of the traps over here at the bottom of this base, and this means it's a teaser. It's teasing you to come in from this side, but normally that's not the best decision. This is why I'm coming from a different angle. What do you go for? What is once again your main objective? And like I said in the first couple of attacks, the main objective is this really annoying thing in the middle of the base, the eagle. That's the thing what you want to go for with your queen charge. So what I'm doing is I try to come in from the left side because the funnel is kind of easy with my Royale Ghost over here. My queen can reach the enemy AD from this spot, like this air defense over here. And this means easy going. The king is funneling on the outside, making sure that all of my troops are actually staying inside of the base. And then the ram is opening up the compartments into the core. At this point, I don't really know what to use the jump for, but with the jump, whenever something is going wrong, you can adjust with the jump spell. So let's take a look. The poison onto the enemy CC, everything is looking fine, but the issue is that my CC troops take out the enemy Inferno Tower. With taking out the Inferno Tower, there's no building anymore, which would actually lure my queen inside, and this means she's going on the outside. But I want her to go into the inside. I want her to take out the eagle. I want her to take out the enemy town hall and stuff like this. This is why I'm using the jump spell. Like I said, if something is going wrong, you can adjust. Now I'm coming in with the warden as well because time is running low, only 1 minute left, and I have to somehow start with the rest of my army. And this is why I have to use my warden, just to be able to actually block the first eagle shots when it's getting really annoying. So this is why I can block all of those eagle shots really easily, rage on my queen, and do not have to use the queen ability. Meanwhile, I'm adding all of the Royale Ghosts. I don't know why I always call them Royal Giants, but the Royale Ghosts on the outside, and just make sure that everything is getting targeted. On the bottom side as well, because that's my priority, the first thing where I'm looking at, because I would take damage away if I take those defenses at the bottom. Meanwhile, just keep a lot of spells still for the queen, and she is fine. Add a couple of more Royale Ghosts along the other defenses, and this is going to be a really nice triple with so many Royale Ghosts alive and still a couple of Royale Ghosts to swag on the right side, and this is going to be another triple. This looked way easier, even though the defense was probably maxed, even though the wards were not too well, but still a really fun strategy. I would do it. It's super fun, but if you want to have a strong strategy, which is not too hard, check out my video 2 days ago where I posted a Royale Ghost army in combination with miners. That's pretty strong as well, and it's not as hard to execute as this one. If you guys like this video and you want to support me even more than just following me on YouTube, you can go in-game and go onto more options and then scroll down, and you can get the code in there, iTzu. That's all you have to do basically. And what exactly is that doing? Because I don't want to tell you to do anything without explaining to you what is the result of this. So what this does is, as soon as you're investing money into the game, for example gems or the gold pass for example, I will get 5% of what you spend. This does not mean it's getting more expensive to you or anything like that. For you, everything is the same. The only difference is that I will get a little part of this money as well. from Supercell, which means Supercell will get less money in that regard, and you guys can support me even though you're just buying in-game items of Clash of Clans. If you want to support me, feel free to use the code iTzu. It doesn't matter if it's capital letters or small letters like I use, it doesn't really matter. This code is working for all of the Supercell games, which has the creator code. I'm out there, for example, the Brawl Stars, if you want to support me over there. I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for all of the support recently. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope I could give you a couple of more small tips and tricks in that, and you like the army. I feel like it's really strong. It's a lot of fun using it, and at the same time, it's a challenge, I think, because it's not as easy as just spamming troops in, because you have to actually work for your 3 stars, and that's normally not the easiest, but always a fun thing, especially if it works. That's it from me. I hope you guys liked today's episode, and I will see you guys in the next video.